Okay, guys, this is our second week that we're going to hone in on that skill number 1 on GoPro, which is product knowledge. And by the looks of how many people, well, maybe we're going to start getting some people on here. I was thinking we're low in attendance, and that's because we're going to lean heavily on you guys who did your homework last week. The homework was, we have 9 research videos that my guess is all of us have not listened to all of them unless you did your homework. I hope you guys did your homework. But those 9 videos is a wealth of information for us. Mm-hmm. But the question is, we've got all kinds of tools at our fingertips. Are we utilizing them? And so last week's homework was to listen to all 9 research videos and take notes, and hopefully, if you didn't print this document out, at least maybe you wrote it down on a piece of paper. And what we were going to do is go through each one of these videos and take notes on what things did those doctors say that captured your interest, that we can then turn around and repeat to people as we talk to them. So last week we did on the call, we actually did the polyphenols in Juice Plus. And we have a list of things from various people of, what they picked out from the video that really spoke to them. I had written down, just utilize the phytonutrients that we have. And I had a conversation, where was I? Oh, just yesterday at a Father's Day party, a gal who years ago, and I didn't even remember this woman when I met her in person, she was like, you've talked to me many times about Juice Plus. And I said, and then vaguely her name came to memory. Well, I met her daughter who really started asking me about, and I started telling her about the Tower Gardens, and she wanted to know my story about Juice Plus. And so, but what was interesting is when I really went into detail about, we've only discovered, I think it's like 152 vitamins and like 38 minerals, something like that. Excuse me, 138 minerals, 52 vitamins, I believe is the calculation. But in an apple or any fruit or vegetable, you're looking at 14,000 phytonutrients. And so I kept referring back to what the value of Juice Plus is, the fact that we're getting things we haven't even discovered yet. And we'll never get it, maybe 1% if we're taking an isolated supplement. And so it was in that video that it really drove home that it talked about targeting tissues and organs and creating new polyphenols that weren't even there once they started taking Juice Plus, and getting more than what you pay for. I love that line. I don't know who said that. So let me hear. So that was that polyphenol. Let me pull up. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull up where we are. Here we go. All right, so let's get these videos right in front of us. So the one we watched last week was on the polyphenols. Anybody have any comments, thoughts, what stood out to you on the nutrition and the obesity call or video?
A lot. Yes, a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, shoot. Karen, Brenda, go ahead.
Okay, wait, I gotta find my notes though. Your screen's blocking it.
Oh, sorry. My screen's blocking your notes?
Yeah, can't pull it up. Hang on a minute.
Oh, okay. Brenda, do you have yours handy while Karen's looking for hers?
I sure do. And I think I had so many ahas this weekend because nobody else there except for our family were on Juice Plus, and just listening to what they're dealing with over, and because most people are sick in one way or another. It was just incredible. And with this one, that the only thing that is going to help with your nutrition, with your health, overall health, is fruits and vegetables. I mean, it amaze me how many people are like, is that big a deal? It's a big deal, and then telling my story, because I had a lot of health issues to begin with, but especially with this group of women, when you're talking about their kids, I mean, I had something to say to them about, there are studies out on kids, literally as young as 6 to 10, that this has made a huge difference in terms of kids who maybe are overweight, and what a incredible detriment that is to their overall health, and that there is an easy way to get fruits and vegetables in these kids' systems, and and that it works. I just kept saying, especially in little boys, when if they have a lot of fat around their middle, they're going to be in poor health across the board. And 2 of them had it was amazing. There's 30 people there, but 2 of them had 2 sons, and they were just raw with it, that their kids were overweight, but they didn't really know what to do about it, because all they love is junk food. And being able to say Juice Plus will help them begin to crave fruits and vegetables. And they're just unfortunately, I had family there who could corroborate it, because they were they just couldn't believe it could be that easy. So
what one-liners did you get from that video?
Well, that that it improves your insulin resistance, and the higher and beta carotene, and the higher that you have of the good stuff, the lower the other stuff did. And also that it was only 6 months. 6 months, and it was just the fruits and vegetables, getting 1 of each of the capsules. So it was just the simplicity of getting them to go on the gummies, and them being able, of course, to say now, and they can be on it until they're 25, all the way through 25 to 26, and they're just like, what? Here's a big thing, yeah, and it's what, $14,000 worth of savings, and they were like, what? So it was it. It was.
Right.
Elaine,
Yes.
what I took away, there's a 300% increase in beta carotene in the Juice Plus group. That they had the 2 groups, it lowered the triglycerides and lowered the fatty acids in overweight boys. And then here's the key right here: taking Juice Plus can help in the fight against childhood obesity.
So actually, because of the increase in beta carotene, go back to that statement, Sandy.
It said in 6 months' time, there was a 300% increase in beta carotene in the Juice Plus group.
And the reason being for that is the higher the beta carotene, the lower the insulin resistance.
Love that. Okay, that's okay. So the higher
The beta carotene,
the beta carotene, okay.
the lower the insulin resistance.
Lower insulin resistance. Okay.
And it's a simple way to fight childhood obesity.
All right. You got everybody getting those statements down? All right. Anything else on that one? Anyone wants to share? Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I think the only thing they didn't cover was just, and I think Brenda touched on it, was that the study also showed that it had a decrease in abdominal fat mass in overweight boys.
Hey,
And that was-
Elaine,
Yes.
I think too, one of the last statements they said was taking fruit and vegetable capsules along with nutritional education can help in the fight against childhood obesity. People might start on some gummies, but if they don't understand what they're doing, they're going to stop. And, they'll do it for a minute. But so I think we have to remember, part of our job in helping them to understand what's behind it and why it works in a way that can be quickly grasped. And so keep educating them as we get them on these products.
Good point. Good point, Kathy. We're the plus and Juice Plus, as Brenda says. All right. All right. Next one on nutrition and cancer survivors. Who wants to
I can
Karen.
start. Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, the study was comparing two different diets, the well diet, which was a 10-a-day fruit and vegetable, and then 5-a-day fruit and vegetable plus juice plus. So both diets proved that they had similar results in key areas like antioxidant levels and stabilized key markers for cancers. But the 5 servings of fruits and vegetables and juice plus had better protein status than the 10-a-day diet.
And they also said it was easier to comply with the 5 wheel
Right.
Juice Plus than trying to get people to eat 10, the variety of the 10 a day.
Yep. And that, that's the key when it comes to people going through, especially when they're going through cancer treatment, they have a hard time really being able to stomach a lot of food many times. And, that protein issue, like you said, Susan, is a big deal. Big deal. All right, anything, and I think too, another great reason why we want to introduce complete to people as well, especially cancer survivors. All right, anything else on the nutrition and cancer survivor one that anyone took notes on?
I believe that was the video where they also talked about the effect of the soy on the breast cancer survivors, and they didn't find an increased risk in estrogen-driven cancer patients who had estrogen-driven breast cancer.
Yeah.
I don't think it was in that one. Did y'all, in that nutrition and cancer survivor, I don't remember them talking about breast cancer.
I don't
I
remember.
thought that study was done at the
I think it was
Anderson-
ovarian cancer.
Yeah, this was the ovarian cancer done at
Okay.
MD Anderson. And I thought it was interesting that it was funded by the National Cancer Institute, NIH, and Juice Plus. So that way you're throwing in some pretty powerful, organizations.
And I always throw that in, that Wake Forest, that one's the Wake Forest study that the NIA funds. Because back to your point, Susan, I've heard that, I don't know of another nutritional supplement that the actual federal government has funded. Maybe that's been many years ago, but I think that's a pretty impressive thing to throw out.
And also that included the complete. I think that's a huge issue. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's the fruits and vegetables in a delicious way
Hmm.
and supplying the soy.
All right, how about nutrition, diet, and gene expression? Anybody have any notes on that one that they want to share?
I think it's amazing that you can actually flip the switch on or off with your genes by what we choose to eat. I think that's kind of a revolutionary thought. And most people think they're doomed with their, whatever their DNA is. And so the whole thing, it's nice to learn that nutrigenomics. I mean, that's just a term. I think you start throwing that out, people are going to really listen.
They're going to be impressed. Yeah, they're going to be impressed with your knowledge. And, this goes back to becoming a professional is product knowledge. And when we can communicate, like you said, Susan, gene expression, and the fact that we can flip the switch on or off, that's huge. And most people don't know that and understand that or even think about that. And what you've done is, I always love what my husband says, is you just putting a little burr under the saddle that they're going to think about that and remember that. And it's going to keep going on in their head. Anything else on the nutrition, diet, and gene expression?
The DNA repair
DNA repair?
and inflammation.
Yeah, inflammation was what I was going to talk about, because many know that they have inflammation in their bodies. I think it's a lot, they don't connect the dots that there's something you can do about it. And when you flipping 1,600, genes off and on, turning on good ones, turning off bad. I mean, I think this is one of the most impressive ones personally.
Yeah. And the very statement that he says, being a victim of our genes is simply not true. Like so many people need to hear that, because they're always like, well, I'm just doomed because my mom or dad had this or that, you know.
Mhm.
And the great thing is that it was 1,600 genes were changed after only 8 weeks.
Right,
That's huge.
right.
I'm gonna go back to what Shelley just said, is we bring hope to people. And we know that based on all of our, when we do our monthly, health transformation calls, we hear those stories. And we need to be bold with our conversations that we can bring hope to people. And this video alone is proof
Right.
that we don't have, I love that statement because I forgot about him saying that, is we don't have to be victims of our genes. Love that.
Well, and I think another thing that really speaks to people is that he related this to weight loss. That reduction in cholesterol of 3.5%, it translates to a weight loss of 9 pounds.
Mhm.
Add in the reduction in inflammation, it's 20 pounds, that you could potentially be using. I mean, they'll listen to you if you're talking losing weight.
Well, and you bring up a really good point with that. And that is really true, that inflammation is going to block anyone from being able to lose weight. So you can eat like a bird, but if you have inflammation going on in your body, you will not
Mhm.
lose weight.
Exactly.
And that explains why a lot of people can't lose weight, is because they haven't dealt with the inflammation. And like you said,
Both, because those are 2 words that people know.
what inflammation and what?
Cholesterol.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So I love that point of really relating the inflammation, equating it to weight loss.
And disease, Elaine, because
Yeah.
certain diseases like hypothyroid and autoimmune disease, you have tons of inflammation.
Mhm.
So that's good because I mean it actually reduces the inflammation significantly.
All right, good. Okay, then we're moving right into that next one, cholesterol, inflammation, and Juice Plus. Any specific one-liners that anybody noted from that video?
Well, those last 2 are, one's just a longer version of the other, but there's just a lot more detail in that one that talks about the weight that they didn't talk about in the just gene expression.
Okay, all right. How about antioxidant, skin health, and Juice Plus?
We've used this a lot in Anderson with Stacia and Sandy when we do the beauty of Juice Plus, because this is skin, and it's you've got to have oxidation, you've got to have oxidants, antioxidants, because oxygen and oxidation are what ruin your skin. And
So fruits and vegetables improve the antioxidants and other phytonutrients. And Juice Plus, after taking Juice Plus for 12 weeks, there was a 39% increase in skin microcirculation. And it also improved the skin hydration, the thickness, the density. It increases in alpha tocopherol and beta carotene.
Mhm.
It preserves youthfulness of skin. The blood flow to the skin decreases with age. So that's where the skin thickness and density plays an important role. If you want healthier and younger looking skin, you need more fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm. And how many of y'all have had people comment on your skin? Yeah. And I think, that was one of the first comments I got, that once I started taking Juice Plus, someone looked at me and said, "What are you doing different? Something looks different about your face." And I think it comes back to that circulation. I think it also comes back to all that, all of those nutrients suddenly going through your body, and your skin doesn't look like pasty white skin anymore. So that's an incredible way to open up a conversation. And I was actually at the dermatologist, and she was like, "Wow, your skin's really good." She goes, what do you use on your face?" And I'm like, "It's more about what am I taking? I take a boatload of Juice Plus. Have you ever heard about Juice Plus? And it just opened the door of conversation. So, all right, how about, hopefully you guys, and I'm pretty sure, let me look at something here really quick. Well, I know we have a lot of this already detailed out on our product section on our Team Extreme website. So we're going to go there as soon as we're done here. But I think hearing it versus just looking at a laundry list, I think first listening to these videos, then going to the laundry list will serve us well. How about wisdom tooth extraction?
Well,
I
they
was really
decided-
interested. Oh,
Shelley, go ahead.
I was saying I was really, I've heard this one before, but interested again because a really good friend of mine had tongue cancer, and she is now going to have all of her bottom teeth pulled, all of them, because the radiation and the chemo just has crushed her mouth. And I've been telling her about Juice Plus for a really long time, but I really got to convince her of something that's going to help her. And, with that, just like same thing, inflammation, oxidative stress, you'll get with surgery, that's normal, but you can help reduce both. Especially if I can get her, because this study was them taking it 10 weeks prior and 1 week after. If I can get her taking this prior to the surgery, would be even better, So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you've ever, and he doesn't do a whole lot of speaking for Juice Plus anymore, but Titus Duncan was the bariatrics doctor. And I remember him saying he took Dr. Richard Du Bois's place at Atlanta Medical as chief of internal medicine. And I remember someone asking him the question, what was it that made you start taking Juice Plus and recommending Juice Plus? And he said, literally, Dr. Du Bois would have people go, well, because what he learned from Dr. Du Bois, he would recommend to his patients before they would go through bariatric surgery to get on Juice Plus. And he said, what a difference in the reduction of inflammation going through surgery on the people who were on Juice Plus prior to going through surgery. So there's just some verbiage, and his name is Duncan. And that literally, they measured the oxidation and oxidation and inflammation, kind of one and the same, but seeing that reduction is what made him really start recommending to all his patients to take Juice Plus prior to surgery. So,
And as Elaine, before we got on the call, this is one that I think it relates to any kind of surgery that you're going through. I mean, this wisdom, that teeth, that, being able to open your mouth wider and everything is really important. But I had 2 major back surgeries back to back in 2 years. And I took Juice Plus the month before both surgeries 4 times a day, 3 times a day, and after surgery 4 times a day. And the same doctor did both surgeries. And he said when I had to have the second one, because I hurt myself afterwards and really messed it up again. But he said, you were my star patient the first time, because at my 1 month checkup, I was 4 to 6 months advanced in healing. And at my 2nd month checkup, he released me. He said, you're a year healed both times. Wow. And those people that have lower back surgery are never the same. And I have absolutely as much flexibility and everything I always did before.
Wow. And, it's funny that you're not funny, but you're saying this, because I literally got a message from Sandy Horn saying she had a customer who just went through back surgery, and she was very diligent taking her Juice Plus, and her doctor said the same thing. I can't believe how quickly you healed. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Brenda, when you were saying you were taking it 3 and 4 times a day, are you talking about 2 capsules of each 3 and 4 times a day?
I took it 3 times a day the 1 month before. I take it, that's normal for me. I take all 8. But the month before, I took it 3 times a day, and the month afterwards, I took it 4 times a day.
Wow.
All right. How about the immune system health video? Any comments on that one?
I didn't get to watch the last 2. So
Okay. All right.
If you're not ready, I mean, I got all kinds of stuff on that if you're open.
All right, let's hear it, Brenda.
Okay, well, first of all, it's talking about, all that our immune system is all the things that we're dealing with just in our toxic world. You talked about bacteria, radiation, parasites, toxins, psychological stress, everybody that we've been through in the last 3 years, even fungus, all of it, that this is the frontline defense against all the things that our bodies are coming in contact with every day. And that when you strengthen your immune system by, getting enough sleep, exercising, reducing stress, eating fruits and vegetables, drinking more water, which is our whole shred program. I mean, to me, this is our shred program in a nutshell. He said that there's overwhelming scientific evidence that fruits and vegetables support, it's the best immune support that you're going to get. And the cool thing is they're talking about 4 different studies in 3 countries, 4 different institutions, and 4 different people groups or subjects. Okay, so one of them was in a healthcare in a hospital with hospital professionals. One of them was with athletic men, the Cobra Force in Austria, which are the most elite athletes in the world. One of them was young law students who are, the law students, they say, even though they're quote unquote healthy, they're the most stressed population we have. And the 4th one was in older people. And so in all of those situations, it improved the markers of immune function, and it increased the levels of antioxidants. And that's the picture of health. And that was on, in 28 days, there was significant difference in their blood work in terms of antioxidants and plant nutrients in just 28 days. And that only good nutrition helps you maintain a healthy immune system.
All right, that's a ton. If you haven't watched them, go back and do it, because I feel like these videos, the more we will just keep listening to it, the more it's going to get in our brains, and you'll be shocked talking to someone and out will come some information and you're like, wow, that was pretty good.
And it's all ages. All I could think of is both of my parents had been on Juice Plus as long as we have, which was 20 years in March. And they both lived to 92, and they lived healthy till 92. I mean,
All right, last thing. How about the Juice Plus Omega study? Any comments on that one?
The
What's the-
function of the heart increases with omegas, and our omega is the only omegas on the anywhere that has all 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 omegas in it.
Sandy, say the first line again that you just said. The function of say that again.
The function of the heart increases with the omegas after 8 weeks and more after 16 weeks.
That is a powerful statement that we ought to be saying to everybody. Awesome.
the other thing that to me was that the only way that we're going to get what they measured in this one was DHA and EPA, which are fatty acids, and they're not supplied in anywhere but in our diets or by taking omega supplements. And that they contribute to normal function of the heart, normal function of the brain, and maintenance of vision, which we talk about, heart, brain, skin, eyes, and joints.
All right, one last, and we didn't really talk about this, but if you didn't listen to Mitra Ray, this one's a 15-minute video. I share this video all the time. And to me, it is a powerful video, just all around the brain health. And it's even before we got the latest omega study, just on the trio and the power that it has on the brain as well. So y'all, let's commit to continuing to refresh our memories on these videos, because this is going to these videos will give us the verbiage to really show up as a pro when we're sharing our product knowledge with people. Another thing I was going to show you guys that many years ago, and I still think it's one of my favorites, is if you go to our Team Extreme website, and then you go down to the training section, and then it is, let's talk like a pro, product verbiage. Here, I tackled the first part about talking about what Juice Plus is. And then then the second half of the talk, Brenda goes how to talk about the different research studies. Here is the video. And I think, especially if you've got someone new to the company or to the business, I think this video, along with these little cheat sheets, you can print those out. I think that is one of the best trainings you can go through to really teaching your new partners how to talk like a pro when it comes to our product knowledge. So I would encourage you, if you've not walked through this and listened to that video and printed out these little cheat sheets, I would encourage you to do that and teach your team to do that as well. So, all right, we are, we're out of time. Thanks you guys for engaging and, watching those videos. Kudos to those of you who showed up and did your homework. Next week, we will start with skill number. Let me go back here. We will tackle skill number 2.